Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, ages ago Kevin, a lovely subscriber, sent me the whole 60 set of the Arteza Mica Powders. And I was so excited to get them because he'd also sent me the Arteza watercolour, metallic watercolour set, which I adore and use a lot. These are the watercolour ones and they are just delicious. However, you only get 24. So in this set you get 60. So my hope was that I could build up some form of paint to use them, and I have been trying. And it's taken so long to get this video out because obviously I was ill. I didn't do YouTube for, I think it was what, 2-3 months where I was ill. So we're going to do the review on these today. Well, not really a review. I'm going to play with them because they are adorable and delicious. So I got my big book of colour charts. Now I'm not going to swatch them all today on camera. I am going to be testing them. We are going to use them on a page. And I'll go into detail about that. Some of them I have tested and I've now... These two are obviously really textured, but then I've got the hang of it and they've gone smooth. Absolutely no rub off whatsoever on your hands. So completely sealed and no bleed through onto the other page. This is from other stuff. This is not from the mica powders. As you can see, there's no pink there. This is from using... what this is from using a pastel fixative, and it pushed the big pen that I was using right the way through the page. Very annoying. Anyway, so they are the colours that I've been testing, and look at them, aren't they gorgeous? That's as far as I've got. So let's get into the box and then I'll explain to you about why I'm not going to swatch every single colour today. So when you open the box, this is how they come. 60 bottles of gloriousness, all sorts of shades, and then in the bottom you've got these different ones like Gold Glow. They don't look much in the bottles, but trust me, I mean, look at this one. This one is Chameleon Blue. I don't know if you can pick up, so you've got like a red and then into blue. They are stunning. This one is Periwinkle Glow. I don't think you're going to pick that up. So, absolutely phenomenal colours, and of course you've got your golds, yellow golds. What's this one? This is, what is that? Aztec Gold. What's the other one? Light Gold. I mean, just... and pure gold. So let me read you what the ticket says, because you might have noticed there. And it says that mica powders, this is really important in case you were looking at those bottles and thinking, well, that's not very full. So it says the pigments are packaged according to weight, not volume. Some pigments are naturally heavier than others and can settle over time. So they show you, look, that one bottle might look really full and the other one won't. And so they're done according to weight. So if we look at those two, where were they? Where was it? I just picked one up that's got, yeah, like, if you look, that's not a great example. Yeah, if you look at these two, that one has got loads in. This one's just seems to have a small amount in. I don't know what that is. Defect on the bottle. There, do you see? It's hard for me to, but yeah. So they've got less in, and that's due to weight, not Arteza scrimping. And also in it comes this handy little scoop, and you need to keep it. You need to look after it. It's a tiny little spoon that you can scoop out your powders, and you need to look after it. So you can mix these colours with water. Oh, look at that one, light plum. Oh my god, you can mix them with water. However, they're not going to, they're going to rub off. As soon as the water dries, that mica powder is going to come straight off. It's going to transfer in your books, and it's going to, yeah, it's just going to wear off. Isn't that gorgeous? That's called Lettuce Green. And I have checked the colours against the Arteza pencils, and some of them match, most of them are completely different colours. So then I started to watch videos on how I could make them into paints without it all falling off my page. And if you watch my last colour along, I was telling you I'd actually even brought some paint palettes for them. Is this the one? Yes. I brought some paint palettes for them because I'd watched this video and I was going to make them into little pans. And watched it and did it to the letter, but they dried out, so I'm just left with mica powder in there. So that's no good. So I then looked into, yeah, look, I'd even brought this cute little dinky one for those special ones down the front. Those ones I was just showing you, those like iridescent ones. But that'll come in handy for some other stuff. So then I was looking into how paints are made and what do you need to do to stop them. Let me just put one on the top. What do you need to do to stop them rubbing off your page or transferring or just going back to powder? So if I move the Arteza box for a second, make sure my little scoop is safe, and this, I then looked into mediums you could use. Now I've got Mod Podge here, which I haven't opened. Have I opened it? I don't think I have. Oh, I have, yeah. But I haven't used it for that. This is the gloss luster one, but it does change the mica, the look of mica. But proper bonding materials for paints, this one is Gum Arabic. Now what this is a binder and actually an extender for when you're watercolouring. So it'll add gloss and transparency, but it extends the drying time. And that's what I'd used in the paint palettes that you've seen. Now if you want to use it like a watercolour, this will bind it and stop it coming off your page just the same. But if you don't, and I want it for all sorts of colouring books, I found this, which is Peebo Studio Acrylics Bindex basically. And this is a, I will put a link down in the description box to everything here. This is a clear, a transparent acrylic binder. So if I unscrew this lid, this was £7 for this whole thing. It's going to last forever. Doesn't smell of anything, and it's just creamy and beautiful when you mix it with the mica powders. So the next dilemma I had, when I mix those how many have got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colour, I don't want to waste them. You know, if you've got stuff left over, I don't want to waste them. So I was saying, well, what do I put them in? How am I going to keep them? They're drying out in normal paint trays. So I went on Amazon yesterday. Didn't have a lot of money, so I chose the cheapest option I could and brought these little 15mm pots. They unscrew and come in a pack of 20. So in the pack you get some organza bags. I'm not quite sure why you've got the organza bags, but they're very cute. They're all individually wrapped. I'm not quite sure why each one needs to be individually wrapped in plastic, but hey. And then you get some little red labels. Not impressed. Brought the pink ones, semi-red labels. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so that solved my dilemma on when I've mixed them, what I'm going to do. You know, I don't want to throw this paint out. I want to be able to keep it. So I mixed up raspberry, if you can see there, and put it in this little tub. And it's the most delicious stuff. So the idea being is I'm hoping that it's airtight and it will keep that wet and ready for me to use like any other acrylic paint when I get going. So the reason why I'm not mixing all 60 colours today is because I don't know if these are airtight yet. I don't want to mix 60 colours worth of stuff and come back and it be completely dried out and useless. However, I am going to show you how I mix it up, and then we're going to try them on a page. So I think I've selected 2, I think that was right. Yeah, I think I selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours. If I can move them in so you can see. So I'm going to get 5 little pots. It's really easy, folks. I am not a scientist. That's it. Should be it, shouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, excuse my dopey brain. Okay, so I'm just going to put those down there. And what colours have I got? Let me come in a bit so you can see. Let's move these, unwrap these plastic pots. That really annoyed me. Why they're in plastic, goodness only knows. Do they need to be? No, they don't. More plastic in our environment. Never mind. Make sure I recycle them. Let me lay them down for you. And we will... So I've got a really dark one here, which is gorgeous, which is a sapphire blue. I think I have swatched that one. I have, but it was like really textured, so I'll go over that. Then I've got bright blue. You're right, some of these are the pencils, but other ones aren't. Sky blue. And I've got French blue, which is absolutely stunning. I have swatched that one. And then I've got ice blue, which is a more of a sort of sea green colour. Can you see the sparkle in that already? Gorgeous, gorgeous. So I have swatched them, but I haven't kept them, those colours. And I want to use them on a page with you. So I've got 2 older paintbrushes. I'm going to take my trusty little... Let me come out slightly. I'm going to take my trusty little Arteza scoop. Oh, and these these pots come with these little stirrers, which are really handy. They all come in the same pack to mix them in. Right, so let's do a colour I haven't done. I'm going to take a little pot. I'm going to take my acrylic binder. And I'm going to pour some in. There. You could just do enough for the page you're working on. But I want to see if they, you know, I'm going to want a lot of paint for the picture that we're doing. So I'm going to take iced blue. We're going to come in. I'm taking ice blue, this one. And I think I'm going to put about... When I practiced with the raspberry, there's quite a lot in there because you don't need that much. So I'm going to put 4 heaped scoops on top. These, you know, I mean, if this doesn't dry out, if you've got better airtight pots that you can do them with, these, I mean, there's still a ton in there. So I've put 4 in there. Let's just do 1 for luck because it's a light colour. 1 tiny little one. Just going to put my little... I'm going to screw them up in between because you know what I'm like. I'm going to take a baby wipe to wipe off my spoon. Look at that. Beautiful colour. And let me just get a piece of kitchen towel. I'll put that underneath. Alright, then I'm taking a paintbrush, any old paintbrush, I'm just going to do this fine one, and gently fold it in. Don't go mental because it is powder and it will go everywhere if you do. A bit like when you add flour to a cake mix. Stir it in. It doesn't go lumpy. It just takes a minute or 2 for the 2 to bind together. And what will happen is when you paint the page with this, what you're going to be left with is literally a transparent binder and just the mica colour. Right, now the beauty of this pot, it makes a bit of a mess, but that's cool. It's the whole part of art. The beauty of having these little clear pots is that I can turn it round and I can see that there's some not mixed there. So I'm going to go back in with my brush. I just want to make sure that it's all turned round, which is why I'm using an older brush. It's all mixed up together. And that's it. That's all there is to it, folks. That's the same with the gum arabic, but you can mix that with water. So if you wanted a water-based one, you could use the gum arabic and put it and keep it in an airtight container, but you don't want to use normal water because it will go smelly and stagnant. So if I move this out of the way now, move my little scoop, and then with what I've got on my brush, let's come to my swatch book, and you'll see now when it goes down it looks like, excuse my arm, oh, I can't get everything on the page. There we go. That was what colour was that? Rosewood. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that shine. Okay, now when you put it on the page, you can get really good texture with it, but it will dry like that. It will also look extremely transparent, and that's because of the binder you've put in it. But just smooth it out. Made a mess of that one because of my shaky hands. Just smooth it out, and then like any other paint, you can go back over it when it's dry, and it doesn't take long. It doesn't warp your page because there's no water on it. This is an acrylic medium. And then you get, well, when that's dry, you'll get this gorgeous mica colour. Absolutely stunning. So I'm going to wash my brush off, make sure I've washed my brush right off, and I'm using a baby wipe to wipe it off. And it's acrylic, so if you want to keep your brush, make sure that you've cleaned it off afterwards. So that was, what did we use? Ice blue. So I'm going to take my little ticket. I'll leave that there for you to see. And I'm going to write ice blue on here. And then, oops, shaky hands look. It's a lovely, it's a wonderful life with shaky hands. So I've got ice blue. Make sure it's all tightened up. And there we are, a little pot of ice blue magic. So it looks really transparent, but it will, like this one was just, hang on a minute. This raspberry was just one coat. So actually we could go back over that and I can show you. Let me just make sure the brush is completely clean. Put my page in view would help. I've got a lot of stuff on the desk for this. There we go. Okay. Alright. Come out a little bit. There we go. So this is the raspberry. So I'm going to go actually take it out of the lid. Let's go back over it and see what happens then. I've got it on my thumb and now on the book. Oh. It's all good fun, people. It's all good fun. There we go. So you can get the transparent look. That's nearly dry. It's not quite, and I've stuck my great finger in it. Or we can go for a more opaque look by layering it. Now I did go on Arteza's website and they're currently out of stock because they were selling them off at $21.99 for the whole 60 colours. But if you go on Amazon, they're not on Amazon either, can't find them, but there are mica powders galore on there that are quite cheap. That say like for acrylic pouring and things is what they say. So I would suggest, I will put Arteza's website down below. Anyway, but I would suggest, what was I going to say? Shopping about on Amazon, that's what I was going to suggest. Right, I have got an array of blues here, apart from the ice blue we've just done. Where's my little pot? Oh, I'm losing the plot, people. Losing the pot. I'm going to go off and mix these up and swatch them. These are all the blues I could find from the set. There are some bluey turquoises. And then we're going to do a page like we did with the Arteza metallic watercolours. We're going to do a background in Denyse Klette's Mermaids in Paradise. Alright, so I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've actually mixed up a few more. I've put some turquoise colours in to the mix too. So I've got turquoise, bright blue, French blue, sky blue, sapphire, ice blue, seafoam and frosty mint blue. Little tubs of absolute sparkly goodness. Look at them. Aren't they lush? So now I have just to decide which colours we're going to use. And when we tested the beautiful watercolours that Kevin sent me, I did this page. This was, the background obviously was with the Arteza metallic paints. And I adore them. They are so shiny you can barely see them on camera. Absolutely glorious paints. So, to put these to the test, I found the similar page here, and I want to do the watery background with these and see if we can do it. So here's my swatches of all those colours, and I love this seafoam. It's one of my favourite colours. I love these greens, these two, so I'm thinking of doing this frosty mint around her, then getting darker and going in with blues. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to get a piece of tissue, another piece for my paintbrush, and what I'm thinking is going lighter round her. That's what I'm thinking. Let's just go for it. So I'm going to take this frosty mint blue. It's this one, I think. Yeah, frosty mint blue. I won't hold them all up. I'll just tell you the names because they're very shaky. Sorry. Frosty mint blue. And open my little pot of goodness. I've got, oh, I want a bigger paintbrush than that. Where's my, there it is. Oh, no! Oh, Lucy! Oh, did you see that? That could have been acrylic pouring then. Oh my goodness! My heart's racing. I'm going to put my lamp on. Come on, you can do it. There we are. Try and take away some of that nighttime shadow. And yeah, we're going to go for it. I've got my little pot of water ready, out of the way of everything because you know what I'm like. And we're just going to go for it. So I've got a dry brush and I'm just going in with, let's take it off the lid. I'm just going in off the lid. Let's see what happens. Oh, I'm nervous. So we can texture it by stippling it on the page. And I think, or we can smooth it out by spreading it out. So we could have a mixture of both. And what I did actually off camera when I was mixing them up, I put another extra 2 scoops into the mix. Look at that. What a gorgeous colour. Just for a little extra pigment. I don't know that I'd needed it, but I did anyway. Just spread that out. Can you see everything? I think slightly. So I'm just using what was in the lid. And then I'm just going to spread it out. And because this is, like I say, mixed with that acrylic binder, A, it will dry quickly. Here we go, shaky hands, don't spill it, Lucy. And B, it won't crinkle your page, I hope. Because I haven't actually practiced on a page yet. So, but Denise Klette's books really take some abuse with water, so this should be fine. But do you know what, it'd be really nice if we could do it on like Amazon paper. That's what my hope was. So I'm just literally slapping it on. Then we're going to get the next colour to mix with. Such a beautiful colour, this Seafoam. Other than pink, I think this has to be my favourite colour. It's just beautiful. I'm just getting off what's on my brush. I'm putting the lid on so I'm not klutzy, and then let me get a piece of paper. I'm just going to put this behind so that I can go to the edges of the page. Can you see the shine already? Okay, so right, what's next then? I think that was Frosty Mint, sorry. Then I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of this Seafoam. And then we'll go into the blue towards the bottom. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. They look quite similar, don't they, those two? Well, if it's too similar, then we can use something else. But I quite like the texture that you can put on as well. And if you were to leave that texture on, it would dry like that, which is really nice. Okay. We can always go back over, like I said earlier. Well, if you could hear that, I do apologise, that's my tummy rumbling. I've had another day of, I got up, woke up at 2 o'clock this morning and came in here, was doing some colouring in my new book that I was sent, that what's it called? Steampunk Houses. I've been colouring that page in there, and then got tired, went back to bed, and literally woke up, I don't know, a couple of hours ago, and it's now 20 to 7. So that's a very similar colour, those two. As it dries, you'll probably notice more of a difference. Oh, I do apologise, that is my tummy. So I'm going to leave it like that. We can go back over. Like I say, right. Now I want to go into the blues. So I'm thinking sapphire. This beautiful rich colour. Let's try this sapphire. I haven't washed. I'm just cleaning my brush off on the page, on the piece of kitchen towel next to me. I'll take the lid because it's less risky. And let's put some of that on. Oh, that's pretty. Do you see what I mean about, like, if you left that textured, that would dry like that, which is really cool for different effects. We're just going to mix those two in. And yeah, it's going to look a mess. It always does when you need to layer. But we will get there, people. Ooh, isn't that pretty colour? It really is lovely. What I might do is go over with a lighter blue just to help that transition there. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed. Kevin, if you're watching, I do apologise for the delay in getting this video out. I really do appreciate every gift that I get sent. And I can only apologise for not getting it out sooner. It was practising, trying to get it right. You know what I'm like. If I'm going to do a video on it, I need to know that I've done it properly. Okay, so we'll leave that like that. So that's in that order. Then I'm going to go in with that. Where's that? Now we either do French or Sky. I think French. French blue. Cleaning my brush off. Let's use it out of the lid. Okay, this is that French blue. It's absolutely stunning. So this should help us to smooth, give us a nice transition between those greens and that darker blue. And then, like I say, because it's acrylic, if you're not happy, we could let it dry and then even go in with watercolours or something else over the top. Oh, that's my tummy again. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. That's what happens when you've been asleep for hours on end and not eaten. You'd think I'd be as skinny as a rake. Well, I wish. And it actually dries quite quickly. So I'm just coming up the side of the page here with these blues. And then round the top here, she's going to be more I don't know what I'm going to do. I was going to do, I want to keep that like this is the deep part of the sea. So it's not like, this is the first time I've painted with them, it's not like using watercolours, it's more like a gel when it goes on. It's actually really nice to paint with. Okay, we'll go back in and put up. Oh, you couldn't see that, I'm sorry. And we can go back in and put more of a coat, blend this out. We got paint. Oh, it's single-sided, isn't it? Anyway. Okay, should we go back in with the Seafoam? Oh, that frosty mint blue. We'll go back in with that round her. That was my intention in the first place. So I did just put a little bit of water on my brush, clean it off, because I've used the darker blues. Isn't that cool? So what should happen is that when they're dry, that we get that gorgeous mica shimmer come through. That's what should happen. Carefully round her hair. I could just dot these colours on. So when I come to blend, I'm going to do more of a, because it's not like watercolours. So it's not as easy to blend, but we'll do a simple sort of fade out over the top there. I like it. So I might then stipple, do like a stipple with those colours to blend those harsh lines in. And it, like I say, it doesn't take long to dry. You have to be patient, like any painting. I'm going to have a look at the page in a minute and see if there's any warping. There shouldn't be. Spreads out quite a lot, so that you don't need that much. Alright, there's that one. So let's go in, because the Seafoam, oh wait, let's do the Seafoam anyway, because it's drying darker down there, if you can see it. So I'm going to take the Seafoam now, and I'm going to stipple that line. Just to help break it up. And if I keep going over it, I don't want that, so much of that texture in there. Although it looks quite good. Let's do it down here too. So this is why I'm using old brushes. Can you see what I'm doing? Lucy Lou, what is wrong with you tonight? Come on. Well, this is what I did with the watercolours, was just sort of stipple them on instead of painting them. I really like that effect there. Okay, like that. I'm going to wash my brush off. And then we're going to go back in with that, we're going to go in with that French blue. I'm going to stipple that in. So this is not the darkest blue, this is the that beautiful French blue. Gorgeous colour this is. It's actually quite nice to have that texture on it. And then we'll go back in with our Sapphire, which is the darkest colour, and get that corner done. I hope these don't dry out in these pots. I'm going to be devastated if these pots dry out. So this is our darkest colour. We're going to stipple that in. We'll go back with the Seafoam in a minute. No, that mist one, what's it called? Frosty Mist. It's a gorgeous colour, I love it. There's our Sapphire. Let's go back with that Frosty Mist underneath her and around her. I will finish this off camera, this page. Oh, there's water on my brush. Damn it. So that she's done for the end of the month. So it is, obviously it's going to be like painting more like, oh, pulled a bit of the ink out there off the drawing. Is going to be more like painting with acrylic, so learning to blend it is quite a learning curve, obviously. And I could have done with a lighter blue transition there. But nevertheless, I quite like it. There is quite a harsh line there though, if I can... So let's try and see if we can get rid of that line. By stippling some of this frosty mint in, will that get rid of that harsh blue line? Looks like it will work. Can you see, I mean, I'm loading this page with it, so that works. Just toning it down a bit. And of course you can mix them like any other colours. Yeah, I like that. That's better. So we've got less of that harsh blue in there. Just going up into the corner and doing the same thing. Literally just stippling it on. And what I'm excited to see is when it's dry. I want to see that gorgeous mica shimmer. That's worked quite well, that stippling effect over the top. Yeah, okay. So I think we've done Seafoam, all the frosty mist down there. Now we need the Seafoam around these bits. I think you're beginning to see the mica already, the shimmer. Let me see. Yeah, it's coming. Okay, so this is the Seafoam. We're going to do that stippling. All around there. We've got to put it in here. And a tail. I'll go over the bubbles with gel pen when I colour her in. But so far, Kevin, they are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And I love it. So I'm gonna let's just paint that bit. We'll come back and stipple it afterwards. Thank you so much. They are lovely. Right. Then we went into Frosty Blue, didn't we? Frosty Blue to do this last corner. Just make sure there's no water on the brush. And we'll paint that. We'll paint it and then we'll go back and do the stippling. Just move my paper. Don't want it to get on the picture. I know they're single-sided images, but I don't want it to get on the other picture. And what I really like is that textured effect that you can get with them. Isn't that cool? Well, with when it's mixed with this gel. And then I'm just going to do a small corner of that darkest blue up here. And the darkest blue was... So you wouldn't think when you put it down, that's what I was saying about it looking quite transparent, that it's going to dry quite as dark as that, would you? But isn't it clever? Aren't they lovely? Okay, so this is our darkest blue. I'll stick that in. Make sure we got enough. And then we came back with Seafoam and stuff, didn't we? Just pull that out. So we've got very dark corners. And then we'll do that, what we've done down there. I love them. They are gorgeous. Okay. So we need to let that dry for a second. What did we do? Well, that's dry already, that bit. Gosh, I hope you can see the shimmer. Can you see that shimmer? Yeah, you can. Look at that. Aren't they incredible? Right, we did Seafoam. Make sure my brush is dry. I'm just wiping it off on kitchen towel. And then we're gonna stipple into this transition, which is what we did a minute ago down there, and I really like how it looks. Now, if you were really artistic, having texture and wave, like you could do wave like there, that little bit. I'm not, I just like playing. So I'm just bringing that in so that we get rid of any harsh lines like we did down there. And then we went back in with the frosty mint blue. And that just kind of helped to blend everything. And then I've got a gorgeous, we should have a gorgeous watery, shimmery sea background. So, lovely quick background. I think you'll agree. How long has it taken? I don't know, 20 minutes? The mixing of the micas took the time. But once you've done it, you've done it. Hopefully my pots, my little cheapo pots, will keep them fresh. Now, I'm going to get that pale blue, that French blue it is. I'm going back over that because this is darker here. Not a lot. And then what I'll do is go off, wait for it to dry, and we'll come back and meet so that you can see the shimmer of these beautiful micas. It's the right one? Yeah. Just mix that up. I need a little bit more of that Seafoam down there. You see, I'm just doing what I've done before. I'm just putting this French blue in, just in some different spots. Okay, so that was French blue. Then just to texturise this bit up here around her, so it all matches. I'm going to go in with that frosty mint blue and just stipple that. Just so she matches everywhere. And into any of the spots that I've missed. We should be able to colour over it. I don't know, I haven't tested it yet. I'll let you know. Actually, let's just put a bit there. I'm just painting a bit on there, and when I go off to let this dry, I'll come back and let you know whether coloured pencils work over it or not. Should do, because like I say again, it's acrylic. So it shouldn't give us too much of a headache. There, I love that. I love it. Isn't that cool? Oh, I'm so excited. Look at that. I'm so pleased with that. For my first attempt with them, I'm so pleased. That's lush. Kevin, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I really do. The fun I can now have with these, providing my little pots stay airtight, is phenomenal. I'm just so excited. Right, I'm going to go off. I'm going to let our patch dry, and then this dry, and then I'll come back. We'll see the full effect when it's fully dry, and we'll test to see if pencils work over the top. See you in a sec. Okay, it's dry. Can you see the shine? Look at that. Look at that. It's really hard to show you. Let me just move that light over. Look at that mica-y goodness. It's just so gorgeous. Right, we've got a few tests left to do. So I made a mess on the other side of my page. Thank goodness it's single-sided. Right, this is the patch that we did, and I've got my Faber-Castell Goldfarber pencils. I'm loving these. These are gorgeous. This is 147. I haven't got the leaflet with me to tell you what colour it is, but I want to try it over the mica powders and see. Yeah, they will colour. Obviously, if you've put texture down, it's going to be difficult, but yeah, you can colour pencil over them. And the other thing I wanted to test was down here, if we move in, was gel pen. And I just covered some of these bubbles. So this is a jelly roll, and it's the wider nib one. I just want to cover these bubbles, and they work beautifully over it. It's still a bit sticky down here where it's not dry properly, this bit. So all in all, an incredible product, I do believe. Shiny, beautiful, glistening micas. Absolutely beautiful. And you can texture it. You could mix them, don't forget, with the gum arabic if you want more of a watercolour look. So if we compare, this is the, that's stickles on my hair and that. But the background on that is the watercolour paints. It's looking really dull, and it's not. Absolutely glorious. I love the watercolour paints. And now these, look at the depth of colour in that. There you go, you're getting a proper shine now. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. And the white gel pen works over the top. I will have to... These were done earlier, those two little tiny ones there, and there is no colour coming through. You know, like sometimes you go over colour pencil and the... There you go, that's better. And the white will take on the pigment. That's not happening. So, if I rub the page, nothing, that's already on my fingers. Look, I've already made a mess of everything. Nothing. There's no colour comes off whatsoever. They're completely... Let me get a clean finger. I'll try that one. Nothing comes off at all, no transfer whatsoever. So once again, let me move out. once again, I want to say a big thank you to you, Kevin. You know, having these as a gift has just been incredible. And the reason I haven't used them yet is because I didn't want to use them until I'd reviewed them with you all, and to show my appreciation. If I'm sent gifts, I don't use them until I've shown everyone. And being ill and needing the research and the little bits, that's why it's taken so long. So I do apologise to everyone, because I said as soon as I got them, oh, let's play with the micas, and then I didn't, because of, you know, a number of reasons. But like I said, I will link Arteza down below. I will link the huge pot of Bindex. I will link the gum Arabic, because it works exactly the same. You just mix it in with the powder and you can put water in it then and make a watercolour. Works exactly the same. I'll link that down below. I will link Arteza's website. I will link I'll link the little pots where I got them from down below. And I know they're out of stock at the moment, but like I said, please go on, and if you're interested in micas, go on and have a look, because Amazon's, it's full of mica powders. I don't know whether they'll work like Arteza's do, but I'm sure Arteza will get them back in stock very shortly. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying and having pleasure with me. I love how this has turned out. So I'm thinking she might need to be pastel because the sea is so vibrant. I don't know. I will play and see. You'll see her finished in the end of the month colouring pages. Oh God, I just have to look at it. Look, look, look. Anyway, alright my lovely friends, I'm going to let you go. So until we meet again really, really soon, take really good care of yourselves. Night night.